Hello everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Veil Tarot and Astrology. My name is Candace Marie. Thanks for joining me. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be the live public readings that we do on Saturday nights. If you're new to my channel, do me a favor, hit the subscription button below, give me a thumbs up, and remember that sharing is caring. If you guys want to share the stream or if you know other people that would want readings. Also, if you're new, there is a QR code that's going to be to the right of me, so you can actually scan that if you want to be able to make a donation for readings. As you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to my PayPal where you can make a donation. We are requesting $20 donation for 1 card reading, $40 for 3. And before I get into it, I just want to say thank you to all of the members. We've gotten so much more growth in the channel recently. So if you are a member that's subscribing to my memberships, I just want to say thank you and give you a shout out to people like Steve, Courtney, Claudia, Happy Mamacita, Deanna, Angela, Emma, Ezekiel, Susan, Paula, Miss Fogel, Jackie, Anjali, Harazed, Nancy Solarito, Phoenix, Jessica Martinez, and Susan Wexler. Thank you guys so much. That's the benefit of being a member. If you want to support the channel, you're going to get extra perks like shout outs. And if you're level 3, you're going to be at the top of my list for readings. And we're halfway through the month. So if there's anybody who is a current level 3 person, there's quite a few of you guys, pretty much everybody except for Jessica, we have not read for this month. And we alternate every other Saturday, tarot or astrology. So we're going to be doing it tarot tonight. If you want to catch me for astrology, we'll be back next Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I do have a couple people who are already in the queue. So if you end up making a donation in PayPal, just let me know, especially if your name differs from your name on YouTube. I would appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to be doing readings in the order that they are received. So I'll give everybody like a couple minutes to show up. But in order, I have Courtney, and then I have Aileen and Anjali. So if there's any level 3 people, let me know. Otherwise, we will get into doing the readings. How is everybody doing this evening? I'm excited to read some cards, man. There's some crazy energies that are going on right now with all these oppositions to Pluto. I don't know if you guys saw my video also. Today is the Sun Mercury Cazimi in Cancer. So Mercury is in the heart of the sun. There's like lots of like little sprinkles and insights that we get today. Great day for tuning in. Like your intuition may be stronger than usual. You might have a conversation, or you might get some insight in a reading, and it will uncover something that you were not aware of. So big downloads happening today and tomorrow as the moon is in Pisces and it connects with Neptune. So such a fun day to be able to do readings and stuff like that. I'm excited. I'm starting to teach my Tarot Beginners 101 class tomorrow morning as well. I didn't even think about that, but the moon Neptune is such a great day to do that. What's up, Spiritual Couture? Hey, Justine. How's everybody doing? All right, so if there's no level 3 people here, we'll go ahead and get right into it, and I'm going to get started with Courtney. Let's see what Courtney has to say. 3 cards for the live reading tonight. Courtney, are you in the chat? If you are, let me know. If you guys want, when you make the donation in the memo, you're more than welcome to put any information that you want. So you can tell me what you want the reading about. You can give me your sun, moon, and rising, any information that you want to provide for the reading. What's up, Courtney? So exhausted from everything. I'm good, guys. I put myself down for a nap. All the water trines, I have like a ton of planets in Scorpio, and Neptune's in my 6th house. So like all these planets through Cancer, it's like I know when to be like, and I'm done. What's up, Al? I hope you guys are well. All right, Courtney, did you have any particular questions? Otherwise, I'm just going to give you a general reading. Let's see what the cards have to say for you, Courtney. We're going to be doing a 3-card reading for you. What's up, Dave? Do we do for goods and services? It would be appreciated. You can do it however you want. You can send whatever you want. 1, 2, 3. If you'd like to get a reading, I'd happy to be reading for you. Go ahead and scan the QR code and you can put in some information about what kind of question you have in the memo. All right, Courtney. All right, so we've got a Page of Cups coming up with the 8 of Wands reversed and the 4 of Cups upright. Here's what I'm kind of getting from this. Page of Cups can talk about the beginning of like relationship connections. It can be about casual relationships that we have with people. It can be you dealing with a younger person. It can just be about your feelings in general. So with the Page of Cups coming up, it's talking about how you're feeling when it comes to initiating some kind of connection with another person. It can be the beginning phases also of relationship stuff. Now with the 8 of Wands coming up reversed, you can be kind of feeling like it's like start, stop, start, stop. Somebody's, keeps hitting the brakes, or there can be some sense of feeling like something's not flowing emotionally. For relationship connections, partnership connections, things like that, it can be kind of saying like, I'm kind of confused. There's a connection there, but I'm not seeing any forward motion. Something seems to be blocked, or there's delays in like actually being able to connect with this person. Wands always deal with creativity, anything relating to travel, anything relating to excitement. So I'm wondering if there's like some confusion revolving around like somebody's motives and whether or not they're actually really interested, or you can be second guessing and questioning whether or not somebody's actions and their emotions are lining up. Now, in a relationship sense, because you got a couple cups here, it can be kind of saying that there's some confusion in regards to what direction things are going in, or whether or not you really feel like it's worth investing your emotions into, or if it's worth kind of pursuing. The 4 of Cups coming up upright, this is the card that I see that's about not being able to see like the forest through the trees. Sometimes if you look at this card, you see like a guy, he's at a party, there's people all around him, they're cheersing, they're exchanging, they're having a good time. And he's like not really like phased. He's just kind of like, this isn't really entertaining me. I'm not really feeling connected to this. I'm wondering if there's a sense of you wanting to have more connection to another person, and you're kind of going like, what's the point? Like, is this even worth this? Like, should I be investing more emotions or more time into this? Is my heart or is their heart really in it? And with the 4 of Cups coming up upright, it's also reminding you that there can be this feeling of like just not being impressed, or not being emotionally into things in general, not taking what you have for granted. So there can be a sense of feeling like, take it or leave it. I could interact with them, I could not interact with them. But this is more so talking about paying attention to your emotions and what your either body language or your natural sense of self is telling you whether or not you should proceed forward. So if you're like, okay, I tried to make the connection, it's not going anywhere, and I kind of feel like I'm getting fed up because I keep putting energy into this and I'm not seeing anything kind of materialize, you might be taking a step back. There can also be a sense of being like, when am I going to get back into the swing of feeling more social, or when am I going to get back into the swing of dating? That can come up with these connections as well. I would say with the 8 of Wands, when it's reversed, it talks about like sometimes an energetic block that can be brought out through movement, through moving energy healing, anything in relation to being more mindful of where intention is going, right? Because if you're in something right now, relationship-wise or life-wise, that just doesn't feel fulfilling and you're feeling kind of blah, the 8 of Wands is saying it's time to kind of shake that energy up and find the blockage and kind of break through it. And the way to do this is to be able to get physically active, or to be finding something that's going to bring more excitement, or it's going to bring more of a sense of really feeling kind of like stimulated to be able to get out of this rut, because this seems like a little bit of a rut, to be honest with you. 4 of Cups also does talk a lot about foundational things because it is a 4, so it can relate to home, stability, security, your emotions in general. So if you've been feeling like more sluggish, or if you've been feeling more stuck in terms of what's been going on in your home life or in your private life, it might be saying, is it time to like rearrange some furniture? Is it time to consider getting out of the house? Is it time to consider a move? Are you feeling like there's delays in actually being able to move on from some kind of missed connection, and maybe you actually need a physical change of your space? That could be kind of coming up for you as well. Regardless, the Page of Cups does kind of insinuate that there are still new opportunities that await you. So if you're not feeling a connection, or if you're not feeling a particular place right now, there are other people who you might be able to connect with. Look for water signs. Look for people who are going to be really sensitive. You might see a Cancer or a Pisces or a Scorpio that kind of pops up in some way and says like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you so down? What's the deal? Like, let's go out and let's do something. Let's have fun. So look for people who are going to be a little bit more emotionally nurturing for you as you're kind of working through this. It's interesting, 4 of Cups and 8 of Wands, any which way we look at it, it's usually about a 2-month period that you're working through this. So it might take up to 8 weeks for you to fully kind of clear this and get to the next phase where you can be feeling a little bit more emotionally fulfilled. So hopefully that's helpful for you. What's up, guys? Thank you, Katie. I'll put you in the queue. Hey, Al. We're doing tarot, so if you would like to get a reading, you can scan the QR code and you can send a donation to my PayPal. It's going to be $20 for 1 card, $40 for 3. Ask whatever you would like, and we'll be reading the cards. Thank you, Courtney. I always appreciate a positive response, especially when we're reading blind. You never know when you're reading on the internet for people, you know? You're just reading cards for strangers. Still a bit of a new concept for me. Okay, so we've got Aileen. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please let me know. Thanks, Courtney. I hope you enjoy your weekend if you want to stay and hang out and listen to the tea. Aileen says, 3-card tarot reading. I'm in an awesome relationship, and while things are great, I feel that the universe is testing me to see if I've overcome my past issues with commitment and self-sabotage. If a possible threat pops up, his ex, who's been pretty cool and not caused any issues, now sees his glow up, and she realizes that we're serious. I think she's making a play to get him back. She's starting to pop up at places that she's never been, like on social media, liking posts, etc. I don't want to repeat my pattern, but it's tough for me not to run. What do I need to know about the current situation to make the best of the decision for me and our relationship? I don't want to be reactive and burn it all down, and I don't want to be naive. Eileen, thank you. Aquagoat. Aquagoat. From what I remember, don't you have like a lot of Capricorn 12th house? Can you remind me your sun, moon, and rising? Let me know. We're going to see what's up with this ex that's kind of making a bit of a come around. No worries. Let's see what the tarot says. Thank you. Aqua Rising. Page of Wands reversed. The Emperor. The Hanged Man. So you got 2 majors that are coming up here, my dear. Page of Wands reversed makes me feel like if you have had in the past a natural tendency to just act very reactionarily. Like, I don't know if this is like you being up and being like, peace, I'm out, I'm leaving, like I'm done with this. You say burn it all down, but I feel like there can be a sense of you making a big deal about things in the past and finding ways to like add fuel to the fire, creating reasons to be able to run, right? So I don't know if that's something that you resonate with, but Page of Wands reverse is like, you have to take into consideration anytime you're dealing with any of the pages, these are children. So if you're going to give a kid a wand or a sword and they're going to run around, I mean, they're going to burn stuff down. So Page of Wands reverse can be somebody who's had a tendency to act out in the past. And I feel very strongly that there's a middle ground between totally burning it down and acting up and making a scene and like holding back completely and saying nothing at all. Because it's the truth is that your best behavior is going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's a good idea to just completely hold back and say nothing. These cards are actually talking more so about his behavior, how he's handling it, not so much you. And that his way of handling it, if he handles it appropriately, it's not going to prompt you to feel like you have to have a meltdown or that you're biting your tongue and you're holding back and you're not saying what you really feel, right? Because the Emperor is coming up. So Page of Wands reverse, in the past, it's not always gone so well, but currently with the Emperor, it can be you as well, but this is usually a more masculine energy. So I'm wondering, how did he handle it? Because the Emperor upright can be like somebody who handles it like a boss. He can be mature about it and be matter of fact and be like, look, she's here, I don't know what to tell you, or she's liking my stuff, she's hanging out on my social media. But how is he handling it? How is he talking to you about it, right? Is he talking to you about it in a way where he's just really matter of fact and being open and honest with you, but also holding strong and like not doing anything that would jeopardize the relationship? It's not just about how you're responding, it's about him, because I want to see him handling it like the Emperor. I want to see him being like, yeah, she's here, but I don't give a shit. Like, you know, we're here together. Don't worry about it. It's good. He's been amazing, and he's definitely Emperor energy. Cool. So that's the most important thing, I think, in the spread, because this is one of the stronger cards. And it's really kind of talking about not letting insecurity come about, because he's really kind of reminding you and holding you, you know, protecting you and holding you in this relationship and holding you in high regard, right? The Emperor is never going to walk away from you at a party and walk up to his ex and start talking to his ex. He's also never going to be engaging or doing anything, you know, behind your back. So I feel like you've got a really stand-up guy, and there's nothing to worry about in terms of him. Now we've got the Hangman coming up. So the Hangman is talking about you listening to your intuition, holding back and waiting. You may feel as if you're going to see how things play out, and you're waiting to see if she does anything that's going to be out of line, right? This is a card that deals a lot with Neptune energies and Pisces energies and all that fun stuff. Recently, we've had Venus that's been in Gemini. It's getting ready to go to Cancer. It's been squaring Neptune. So I'm wondering, like, depending on your chart where the Venus-Neptune square has been playing out, if it's been making you more sensitive and a little bit more insecure, a little bit more weird about the possibility of people coming in and kind of challenging your relationship. But the Hangman is also, that's a card for me when it's coming up for interference with third parties. As, you know, do I say something? Do I do anything? Or do I just sit back and do I wait? Being that the Hangman came up upright, it's basically saying just chill. Be in a state of zen. Be focused on the relationship. Be meditating and connecting with your partner and being able to, like, psychically or energetically protect that space. The internet's like a slimy place. Like, if you're in a relationship and you're doing well, people are posting pictures and all that stuff, you could definitely have a lot of weird third eye gunk happen as a result of somebody else seeing that you're happy. But I believe he's not going to be acting on this. I also believe that you are, especially over the next couple of months, going to be able to be more zen about not reacting to this, right? Misery loves company. So that's the other thing, is that when you're seeing that people from the past are kind of coming around, leeching around, they're probably trying to see if they can still get a response out of him. And when you have the Hangman, which is very Neptune energy, with the Emperor, which is very Aries energy, time and time again, the Emperor is going to be like out of sight, out of mind, right? I don't see it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And he may go about that in that way. If she's turning up places, he's just ignoring her. He's not going to engage with her. And I love that when the Hangman comes up in like a relationship reading where there could be another person involved, it's really kind of saying, look, you benefit by trusting your partner, right? So if you trust your partner, you give them enough room to be able to make their own decisions, and you also trust that they're going to honor the relationship, it is going to give you an opportunity to step back and not feel like you're responding to old emotional kind of wounds the way that you used to, and you're letting it dissolve. So I feel like you're going to be fine. I feel like also I would be doing more work revolving around just kind of cleaning things up energetically so your relationship is more so protected. So I don't know what you do spiritually, if you're like saying like, hey, like, let's wear a third eye, like a little evil eye charm, or like, you know, let's not post so many pictures together because I don't want somebody who's crawling all over, you know, our pages. It's being more private, being more protected with things. And also, if you feel like you're going places and it's an invasion of your guys' space, talking to him about it and telling him that it makes you uncomfortable because you don't want to react and you don't want to run is really important. I think it's explaining to him that in the past, maybe when this stuff has come up, you've had a tendency to take off before really talking about it. And you got in your head about what could be going on rather than sitting down and talking about the reality of the situation. I don't think you have anything to worry about, though. So the Hangman is saying, just chill out, take a step back, see what goes on. And if you guys feel like you need to have a little bit more privacy, or that she has a little bit too much connection to what you guys have going on, talk to him about it, you know? But good on you, because you are turning over a new leaf. There are different behaviors here. You go from being really reactionary and kind of blowing it up to being like, I'm zen, it's fine, they can be around, I'm totally secure in my relationship, nobody's going to be creating any problems, you know? Hopefully that's helpful. Let's see, who else do we got here? Here we go. So we've got Anjali. And then I will be back and I'll be taking the super chat for you, Katie. Anjali says, hello. What does God want me to do about my current romantic relationship? Candace, I may or may not be joining the chat tonight. All right, Anjali, I've got you. I don't know if I would consider myself a messenger of God, but I'll do my best on a Saturday night. I'm gonna be careful what I say. We're gonna get the tarot destroyer in here. All right, so let's see, Anjali, what do you need to know about this potential relationship? I wonder if Anjali's here. Is she working hard? Working hard on a Saturday. Oh, well, I have good news for you, Anjali. The card that I get is the Lovers. This is cool because, you know, once again, Gemini energy, Venus and Gemini. Venus has been in a trine to Saturn. So the last couple days, Venus has been forming positive angles to Saturn. This has been about having more serious conversations. But Venus and Gemini is about communicating, expressing love, having freedom, being a little detached. For somebody who's got a lot of Pisces in your chart, it can definitely be a sense of feeling like, am I safe or am I secure in this connection? Is it something I can hold on to? The Lovers card, I mean, obviously, this is a card that's associated with like soulmates and connections and romantic love and sensual love and choices and whether or not you're going to give in to temptation. So there can definitely be like a really strong romantic connection that you're having with somebody, but there can also be a sense of like questioning like, okay, is it going to stick? Is this something that's not just going to be a temporary thing? Like, does that person feel the same way that I feel about them? Are we coming together in union? Do we have the same intention behind, you know, whatever it is that we're doing here? This card reminds me a lot of like Romeo and Juliet and the connection that they have and being able to have like this like secret kind of like romantic relationship and hiding out and like exchanging vows for one another. So something about this makes me feel like you're in the beginning phases of like really getting intimate and talking about what it is that you want in regards to your love life, how you're feeling about each other. It's very sweet. It's sensitive. The Lovers card talks about stuff that can be a little bit more innocent, right? So it's innocent. It's not super, super sexual, this card. And it is about you being able to communicate and express how you're feeling. So I'm wondering if the next phase is going to be really opening up and being like, hi, this is how I feel about you. Do you think that we could actually have a shot at building like a long-term relationship to each other? It's also about being present in the relationship and enjoying the intimacy aspect and like the beginning phases of like the physical relationship and like really enjoying the romance of it all. So as far as I can tell you, that's one of the better cards that you can be pulling when you're looking at relationships, but it is reminding you that it's important to communicate what it is that you're looking for in relationships, so that way you feel like you're aligning with somebody who is the right person. You'll have to let me know, Anjali. Give me a comment and come back. I would love to hear how that resonates for you. I've got Katie. What's up, Katie? Thank you for your super chat. Will Jordan and I be in a committed relationship by the end of fall? Let's take a look. Hey, Evelyn. Hope you're doing well. We're doing readings by donation, so if you guys want to get a reading, you want to get in the queue, you can scan the QR code right here. You can make a donation, $20 for one card, $40 for three. Drop me a line in the memo. Let me know what your question is about. So let's see if you're going to be in a relationship with him by the end of fall. Well, he's slow, girl. He's taking his sweet ass time. Knight of Pentacles. However, okay, the Knights are dedicated to their cause, so they can have a tendency to really like rush into things. They can rush in, they can rush out. But of all of the Knights, I would have to say that the Knight of Pentacles is my favorite because they're kind of like slow and steady wins the race. So as these people come into your life, if you're approaching a relationship with them, even though they take a little bit longer to get there, generally this is the night that you can kind of, you know, commit to, or the one that actually really kind of comes through. With the Knight of Pentacles coming up, I feel like this can be saying that he's just taking a slow and steady or a more cautious approach. It can mean that he's taking a little bit longer to open up, taking a little bit longer for commitment, taking a little bit longer to make moves in the direction of being like, okay, this is mine. When you see the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you see the Knight that's actually carrying a pentacle. So he's got something that's valuable, or he's collected something, or he's committed to something, or he's holding on to someone or something. I wonder what sign is he? Does he have any real prominent earth placements? Sometimes that can be the case with the Knight of Pentacles. Generally, though, this is a positive sign. So this would be a yes, but it's saying it's going to take a long time to get there. It's going to feel like you're almost like, you know, he's dragging his feet in some capacity. But Knight of Pentacles can be somebody who's also really hyper-focused on, you know, career stuff, working, he's busy, he's got a lot of responsibilities. So he can be feeling like there's certain things he needs to get done, or certain things that he needs to get into alignment before he can be more so in a committed relationship. I'm wondering, just thinking like the fall, there is going to be like a Mercury retrograde that's going to start in Libra, and it's going to go into Virgo, and this can be connected to that time. And I know that Mercury will retrograde and it will actually conjunct Venus. So I have a feeling this is going to be a time right around there. I'll give you the date that you guys are probably going to be like, okay, what's the deal? Are we doing this? That's going to be right around, it's going to be right around the end of September, the last week of September. No, in fall. Yeah, this is the future. This is talking about where things are going. So right around like the last like week or so of September, that's the time that I would look for. And it makes sense because, you know, we're gonna have a Mercury retrograde in Libra, so a lot of reevaluating relationships, and any Earth placements are connected to this sign. So the next Earth phase that we're gonna have will be Virgo, so the end of September. And when Venus and Mercury are coming together and it's in a trine to Pluto, I have a feeling that's when you're going to have a conversation about whether or not you guys are moving forward. He might express to you also like why he's taking a little bit longer to do this. And it's not that he's cut off or anything, but like he may just take a little bit longer before he gets involved, because usually when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, he doesn't rush into things. If there's, oh, he's a Virgo. Okay, cool. I had a feeling. So I love when the tarot is like so spot on. I really think that that's when this is going to happen. So yeah, end of September for this to be coming up. And they don't just jump into anything, especially Virgos, right? They have like, they're very particular about timing and things coming together. But I'll also tell you, if he's a Virgo, Jupiter's going back into Pisces, which is 7th house for Virgos for relationships. So as that retrograde, Jupiter is dropping back into their 7th, they're reevaluating relationships. Neptune's there too, so a lot of them are falling into like the right relationship. Virgos are just having such a hard time with scheduling for some reason, because Saturn has been 6 houses to their sun. I don't want to wait for too long. I'm a Scorpio. I have to tell you though, if you're a Scorpio, you just had a solar eclipse in Taurus, and that was at the end of April. So 7th house to your sun means like that new eclipse that took place in your 7th house is about setting intentions for new relationships. It's going to take about 6 months to fully unfold. So you want to look at the series of eclipses that are happening at the end of October going into early November, when we have a full moon in Taurus, and I think that that can definitely be a good move. Some Scorpios are dealing with people who are having issues with their living arrangements, or they're making changes with where they're living, or they want to move, or they're feeling stuck in a living situation. So I could see that that's getting cleared up if that's what he's dealing with in the fall, and making it easier for you guys to come together. But very positive card. Virgo can definitely be a really great match for Scorpio, and I would say for Scorpios, they have a lot of big relationship like themes that are going to be coming up in the beginning of November. That eclipse will be November 8th. So it's worth waiting for. You know, it's a good card. And it called him out too. It was very specific about what his sun sign was. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Let me know. Come back, Katie. Let us know what happens. Okay, so I have got Jeffrey. I got you, Jeffrey. You're in the queue. Don't worry. Let's see here. Jeffrey Roberts. Where are you at? What questions do you have for me? I don't see anything on the memo. And Al, if you want to get in the queue, all you have to do is make the donation and then we will get you. You'll be next. Let me know if you're here, Jeffrey. Otherwise, I'm just going to do a general reading for you. Just change decks. Oh, your government name? I was like, it's you. Thank you. Al, she's taking questions for the next 20 minutes. More people in the queue. Is that you, Jeffrey? What's your question? What do you want to know? What's up? What can I answer for you? We're going to call last call at 8 o'clock. We still have readings then, so if you guys want to get in, you want to get in before then. Okay. Could you confirm whether or not I should stay in my current area and search for work as I get my own business going, or will I be relocating post-Grand conjunction around the month's end? The conjunction is happening for you in what house? I forget. Let's take a look. So do you stay and search for work, or will you be relocating? Strength reversed, the Magician, Six of Swords reversed. That would have been enough for me in the fourth. So realize that Mars Uranus conjuncting in your fourth does not necessarily mean something will happen that day. Okay. This will be an interesting day to give you a little bit more insight. The next time that the moon rolls through Taurus, it will conjunct Mars. So take note of what's happening on July 20th and 21st. Okay, you got Moon Mars hanging out in your fourth house, and Mars is technically then the ruler of your third. So to me, it looks like you're looking for something that can work where you're at. And I would caution you against moving too soon, because if you move too soon after the Mars-Uranus conjunction, Mars is going to square Saturn. So I get the impression it's probably a better move for you to be, if you are looking to move, waiting at least until mid-August, right? Yeah, it's a 15-year buildup, but Six of Swords is a movement card, right? So this is saying not yet. Don't move yet. Don't do anything preemptively, because it could, with the square to Saturn, be like, oh, I could have found a better deal, or like something else could have come through. The timing with the cards is bang on with the astrology. It's saying mid-August or the second half of August. But Strength reversed is saying, hold up, before you feel like you need to force or push a situation, it's really time to kind of tune into focusing on manifesting, visualizing, like really asking the universe for what you want. Because to me, it seems like you might feel a little stuck. The Strength card is saying, like, I know what I want to do, I know what I need to do, but I feel like I'm having to push the situation and like the timing is off. So when you work with the Strength card and the Magician, it's saying, rather than feeling like you need to force situations, it's like kind of focusing on, okay, what's the best scenario? What is it that you really want? The Magician can be talking about having everything that you need closer to home, rather than feeling like you need to make a big change. And the Six of Swords, which is usually a card that's about movement, it's about going somewhere. The Six of Swords is basically saying, probably not the best to move. You need to wait about 6 weeks. That if you're doing it, it's a little too early. That if you try to make the journey sooner rather than later, you're going to have some hiccups, or there's going to be some challenges in getting from point A to point B. Abraham Hicks, yes. Right on, I'll wait. Just anxious. I've just been on vacation. I think honestly, personally, this makes me feel like somewhere around that full moon that you're going to be having in Aquarius, because the full moon is going to be technically what, if you're Taurus rising, you're going to be, no, not Taurus rising, Aquarius rising. You're going to be having a full moon on your ascendant, and it's going to be square the 4th. So that's going to be the full moon that's going to give you some insight. I'd wait a little bit. And the magician is saying, like, you can actually whip something up and you can make magic happen and find ways to be able to bring in resources to help better prepare for a move. Just a tip, because Aries rules your 3rd house, I'd like to see Mars maybe in a better aspect to Saturn. That's just kind of food for thought. It is going to be a little bit longer until we see Mars get into Gemini. So if you don't want to wait that long for Mars to get into Gemini, wait for Mars to trine Pluto to help you move, which is going to be starting around August 12th. Or you can wait until Mars gets into Gemini, and when Mars is in Gemini and it's in a sextile to Jupiter, which will be the first week of September, moves are going to go so much more smoother for you. But I have a feeling intuitively, based off of what's happening in mid-August, it's going to help you better plan and prepare. This is also saying if you move too soon, you might be doing something that's temporary, then you might end up moving again, right? As Jupiter goes retrograde in your 3rd house, which is about movement, so it might be encouraging you to kind of stay open in terms of where you could go or doing something temporarily until you have a better launch, probably in the fall, okay? Hopefully that is helpful for you. Which astrological sign should I watch for a reading? I'm a Libra sun, Aquarius rising, Scorpio moon. You want to watch your rising sign first. So your rising sign is going to tell you what's literally going to happen. Your sun sign is going to be more about your ego, your career, what makes you happy, and your moon is going to be more about your intimate relationships, your emotions, and your family. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate it. Let me know how that move goes. Hey, Lena. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Let's see if I have anybody else in the queue here. Thank you guys for your patience. There's Lena. Three-card love reading. I got you. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. Three of Swords, Four of Coins, the Hierophant. Kind of get like this whole like, do I stay or do I go type vibe. It's the cards could not be more polar, right? What's up, Rachel? The Three of Swords coming up talks about moving out of heartbreak, moving out of situations where you've been disappointed, you've been hurt, you've been mistreated, things didn't quite pan out. Learning to focus on healing in regards to your past, right? The nice thing is that when the Three of Swords comes up upright, although it is one of the more challenging cards in the deck, there's nowhere to go but up. So there is almost like a really kind of painful process in removing the swords and learning to communicate and talk about where you've been hurt, what's gone wrong, and there can be lots of like reflecting on things that are painful that can really delay the process of you being able to go deeper into relationships or partnerships. So this is the past position for you, okay? So then the second card that we have that's coming up is the Four of Coins. And that's where I say, like, do I stay or do I go? Because there's a lot of sorting and sifting through. What do I hold on to? Like, has this been this ongoing pattern or this theme of like me having several relationships or several situations where my heart has been hurt or I've been kind of blocked or like cut off from love? So the Four of Coins is a very physical card. It's like, what am I holding on to? What am I not letting go of? Am I holding back too tight? Am I holding on to a story that I've always told myself in terms of how relationships go? Am I holding back from being able to share and tell people how I'm really feeling? Four of Coins can be talking about a 4-month period. So it can be, you know, taking several months to like work through something. It can be giving yourself time to heal before kind of getting back in the game. And then finally, the final card is the Hierophant. So this is a card that is about, it's a 5, and it also deals with Taurus. It deals with stability. It deals with security. It deals with sometimes marriage. It can also be about the quote unquote right thing to do, or like society's standards. So the Hierophant's about getting advice. It can be about talking to somebody who's been there, done that in relationships. It can be about you reflecting on whether or not relationships are for you. And if you really feel like you are getting what you need out of relationships, or if you're just cycling through relationships and it's never really getting to that real serious commitment phase, and you're starting to ask yourself, like, do I have too high of expectations? Am I asking too much? Am I expecting too much? I really don't think so. I think that to some extent, it's really kind of saying you are focusing on your end goal in relationships, and you're willing to do the work to work through breakups, work through heartbreaks, anything in regards to any of that stuff. And it's really asking you not to close yourself off to love, not to close your heart, to remain open, even though it can be kind of painful. But maybe there's a sense of reflecting on relationships throughout your life and kind of going like, wow, have I been carrying stuff over from previous relationships? And am I going through some of the same phases? And do I go into a relationship hoping for the best, but am I still kind of carrying or dealing with baggage from the past? And where are you finally deciding that it's time to really clear out the emotional closet, so that way you can be open to being fully present and being in a real, mature relationship with somebody who has the same goals in mind as you. This is a very conservative card. So it's not like you're going, woo, I'm gonna go out and meet people and have a good time. This is like, no, I wanna meet somebody, I want commitment, I wanna have somebody who values relationships as much as I do, and who is also looking for the same kind of set of life goals and life plans that I'm looking for. Whenever I see this card, it does deal with marriage. So I'm wondering if that's something you've been reflecting on. You're going through a nasty breakup, I'm sorry. The good thing is that it's in the past, it's not in the present. So I think that the 4 of Coins being here is about not being like, I'm not doing that again, I'm not opening myself up again. Like, don't do that. It's really important that you don't do that. And 4 of Coins can be great when it comes to being like, I'm gonna be more all about my time. Who I give my time to, who I give my feelings to, my emotions, who I open myself up to. You're going to be a little bit more particular with just making yourself available for just anyone. And maybe that's just how things go as you're going through a breakup, and you're becoming more conscious of your own personal time and who is going to be able to have access to you. I would say with the Hierophant coming up, I'm wondering what you're reflecting on in terms of committed relationships and what you're looking for. It's possible that there can be like a Taurus that can come up, or that there can be a sit down that you have with a therapist or a mentor or somebody who's older in your life, who's gone through relationships, who's going to say to you point blank, like, don't waste your time. Focus on building a future with somebody. Don't get caught up in the past. Don't get caught up with people who aren't trying to kind of build you up, and who aren't really trying to kind of honor a relationship the way that you're willing to, because there can be a lot of you giving more than what you're receiving. And you're Sun in Gemini and Moon in Libra, not sure you're rising. Okay, so I mean, you know, just being a Gemini right now, or we don't know your rising, but just being a Gemini, having Venus going through your sign and it's getting ready to go into your 2nd house, is going to be focusing on building yourself up, and how you're loving yourself and how you're caring for yourself. And all of these transits that are happening in air signs are about communication. So try to stay positive in terms of how you're communicating, trying to stay clear, clearing your energetic field, smudging, any of that stuff. But enjoy the last couple days of having Venus in your sign. It's actually really positive for you in terms of giving yourself a lot of self-love. Things will clear up, and I would say when you get into alignment with what your non-negotiables are, going through the dating process is going to be easier. Just don't close yourself off, okay? Sending you lots of love and healing vibes. Hopefully that's helpful. What's up, Rachel? Rachel, I saw your post and I was like, what? Pajama Guy is back? What? I couldn't believe it. So I just can't wait to read this message. Here we go. Love life Pajama Guy reading, please. Do I need to cut him off completely or take him back when he comes, or be open to dating someone else? Let's see. Rachel, Rachel, Rachel. All right, so does she need to cut him off or take him back when he comes around? He came back and he said he loves me, and then he backed off again. I can't with this guy. I can't. The card that you get is the Wheel of Fortune. So, timing. There's timing stuff. There's fate kind of going on here as well. One thing that I would say that I think is really affecting you is that Venus is moving through your 10th house, being a Virgo. There is this emphasis also in being like, okay, you know, when is the right time? When do we come together? What's happening? Wheel of Fortune is positive. So that seems to suggest that there's ebbs and flows, right? Things go up and things go down. But it is talking about the fixed times. So I'm thinking like, you know, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. The next fixed period we're going to be having is going to be Leo. So it's going to be Leo season pretty soon. Wheel of Fortune seems to suggest that everything is kind of in its own timing, that there's going to be positive things happening. This is not a card that's cutting him off. This is not a card of being like, no, nothing's going to happen. This is a card of saying, actually, you might find that there's going to be something that speeds up and there's positive, harmonious events. Wheel of Fortune also deals with travel. So I'm wondering, like, do you guys finally do get a little bit of time away? Do you guys do decide that you're going to go on like a short weekend getaway? Does it give you the opportunity to spend time together and talk about things? This is a card that's also associated with Jupiter. And I think that Jupiter being in Aries in your chart right now is opening up the part of your life that's dealing with intimacy, or is dealing with whether or not other people are actually afraid of going deeper in terms of union. Could not pick a better card. This is not getting rid of him. This is not cutting him off. Being open to dating somebody else. I think the Wheel of Fortune is saying, like, if you're open, fortune is basically going to come your way. Let me just get a clarifying card. No, it's not about walking away. Not yet. You're not walking away yet. Eight of Cups reversed is saying you're not going to leave yet. You're going to see ultimately that there is more potential for the two of you. Watch what's going on in Leo season, especially just knowing that we are going to see Venus tear through Cancer. Then it's going to go into Leo, probably going into like Virgo season. But that's going to be 8th house to your sun. There can be lots of like sexiness going on. There can be lots of connection going on. And I feel like he may be needing time before he reflects and comes back and he's like, okay, you know, now I'm more ready to commit. Like, let's actually make plans into the future. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune deals with travel, and it deals with expansion, and it deals with happiness. And it's also saying that if you stay open, somebody else could come in, right? Somebody else could come in. You're not walking away from this guy, but somebody else could come in. So keeping your options open is not necessarily bad. I don't think it's going to affect the dynamic that you have with him. I also feel like just intuitively, the Wheel of Fortune can be talking about saying, like, if you needed a sign or if you wanted to know whether or not there's a real connection there, like him being like, hey, I have feelings for you, I'm in love with you, was like what you needed to maintain or keep the faith, because Jupiter deals with faith. So if you were starting to kind of feel like, you know what, this isn't going anywhere, and then he comes back and he tells you how he feels, Wheel of Fortune is saying like things are shaping up, like stay open to whatever it is that he's telling you, because there is going to be an expansion of the storyline and plans that are made into the future. But I don't see you walking away from Pajama Guy. I also oftentimes think to myself, like, does this guy know that we talk about him and refer to him as Pajama Guy on the internet? And like a lot of people are in on the Pajama Guy saga. It's my favorite, honestly. Keep me updated and let me know if he starts making plans to go and do something, because I have a feeling he's going to be like, let's go away for the weekend. And I know he's flaked in the past, but looks like things might be changing for you. Hopefully that's helpful. And let's see, who do we got? Stacy. What's up, Stacy? Stacy says 3-card tarot. We're calling last call in about 10 minutes. So if you guys want to get a reading, you know what to do. Scan the QR code if you want to get a reading. $20 for 1 card, $40 for 3 by donation only. So let's do a 3-card reading here for Stacy. He didn't flake, you did. Well, if there's an opportunity to do something again, you should do it. Yeah, no. He dropped the L word, girl. He dropped the L word. All right, Stacy, 3 cards for you. Leo Sun, Gemini Moon, Virgo Rising. Thank you. 12th house Sun, huh? 10th house Moon. There's that 8 of Cups again. Well, this is making me wonder if there is a reunion or reconciliation going on here. You're asking about your coworker. Knight of Wands makes me feel like somebody is kind of coming on strong, or they're being intense, or they're being passionate. Sometimes this can be somebody who's like, you know, coming on like a little intense. There's a sense of them like pushing your buttons, or being aggressive, or being agitating. Does he like me, or is he just torturing me? So this is somebody who's trying to get a rise out of you, right? Knight of Wands. This can also be somebody who has a really strong fire signature, so like an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius. Honestly, I get the impression this is like somebody who's kind of pulling your pigtails, trying to get a reaction out of you, but then when they get a reaction out of you, they'll kind of come back around, right? These two cards together remind me of like Sour Patch Kids, like first they're sour and then they're sweet. So the Knight of Wands and the 8 of Cups reversed is like kind of giving you a hard time, roughing you up, you know, picking on you, kind of being really aggressive, or being like hard on you to the point where you're like, I can't deal with this anymore, and you like walk away. And the 8 of Cups reverse is saying you don't really walk away. There is some kind of coming back together. Somebody being like, don't be like that. I'm just giving you a hard time. Like, let's just talk, or, let's hash it out. Then you have the 6 of Cups reverse. So it's like he's going to keep, or they are going to keep bringing you back in. So I do think that he likes you. I think that this is his way of showing affection. And I think that with the 6 of Cups reverse, it's like, if you ignore this person, if like you don't give them a reaction, or if you're not like allowing them to kind of, get a rise out of you, he's crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. He's going to be like, where did you go? What's the problem? Like, that's how Mars or fire energy kind of works. It has a tendency to get a little too intense. And then once the fire's out, it's like, why did you leave? I feel like for you personally, with the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Cups, it's getting to where you are kind of like, do I even want to be around this person? Like, it's difficult for me to be around this person because they're all over the map, right? And just knowing that, that you have that Leo sun, there's a buildup coming when we get to mid-August. There's going to be a full moon in Aquarius, and it's in your 7th house to your sun, and it's going to make an opposition, obviously, to that, and it's going to square what would be your 10th house. So I feel like you're going to be finding out that this is somebody who has like a little bit of a crush on you, but also somebody who's on a bit of like a power trip. Knight of Wands can be somebody who's just kind of like demanding, and like they have a tendency to kind of like want to push people around, and then he's realizing that he's actually pushing people away. I don't think that you're the only one who feels this way about his behavior, because 2 of Cups can be like you going back and forth with somebody else being like, I don't know how much more longer I can deal with this. Like, this is like too much for me. So I have a feeling that other people are feeling the same way. But even if he does like you, that 6 of Cups makes me feel like if you say to him, like, I would rather not deal with this, or you're kind of avoidant, he's going to come back around. Like, he's going to question, like, what's wrong? Where are you? Why aren't you, talking to me at work? Like, where were you at lunch? It's going to be somebody who's going to, start kind of pushing your buttons a little bit more and reacting to you pushing them off. But 6 of Cups is a positive card, even though it's reversed. I just feel like it's going to get to a point where you're going to be like, I don't even want to go back and forth with this person. Like, it's too much for me. And eventually you might kind of tell him that he has either done things or said things that has hurt your feelings. And once he realizes that, there might be a sense of him taking space and then kind of coming back around, honestly. Virgo rising is interesting, though, with all those planets going through your 10th house and it's squaring everything. Cap, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Pisces ascendant. Yuck. Sorry. Yuck. Whole sign, that would be 11th house, so they're going to act like an Aquarius. But if you're a Cap Sun, Cap Moon, Cap Mercury, they can be very like Saturnian in terms of how they communicate and how they interact, and they can be a little like demanding. But the Pisces rising right now, part of what's going on, I think, is that Neptune's on their sun, or on their ascendant, and it's not playing well with some of the squares. Just knowing that you have all this Leo also in this Gemini, I mean, all of his planets fall in your 5th, but like Virgo does not jive well, Leo does not jive well with all of that Capricorn. It just doesn't. It creates what we call a quincunx. Actually, you have that with Pisces and also with Capricorn. So when you're dealing with a partner who has that many placements that have no real aspects to your sun, you guys are speaking two totally different languages. I would say look at what's going on more so with his Venus. But men who have Cap Sun, Cap Moon, it doesn't matter where they have it. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be kind of dry and sometimes a little more business, you know, kind of bossy, unfortunately. But I'm not telling you what to do. I would just say, knowing that you're Virgo sun, you're a Leo sun with all of those in conjunctions, you guys are not speaking the same language. And there may come a time where you have to tell him like that you've had enough in terms of that interaction. And when you do take space, he'll come back around. And if he has Venus in Aquarius, it's in his 12th house. So there is a tendency of like having feelings for people but not being able to act on it, or having connections with people but not being able to really show those feelings. Just all that Capricorn in itself was enough for me to be like, ugh. All that Capricorn in the 11th, he's going to act like an Aquarius. So it's not the easiest for him right now. But yeah, I would say tell him how you're feeling. But I do think that there's like a bit of a crush here, but he's going to have to learn that he can't kind of play that way. Otherwise, he's going to kind of push you away. And if he's got Venus in Aquarius, Saturn is in Aqua right now. So Saturn's going through his Venus, which is challenging for him to relate to women. And he's isolating himself from potential romantic partners. Watch out for that. Not a fan of all those in conjunctions, personally. That's just me. Let's see if we got anybody else. Looks like that's it for the evening, unless there's somebody else that wants to hop in. Just a couple heads up on the channel. So we'll be back next week on the 23rd. We're going to be doing live astrology, 7 o'clock p.m., 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to get an astrology reading, I'll drop the link sometime mid next week. You guys can get in and you can get in the queue. We have so many people who come in for astrology readings. I think I'm going to start putting like an actual list of people. So I'm probably going to take like a set 10 number of people, and then I'll have like a waiting list. So once I release that list for people that are going to get in for the live readings, I'll take the people that are on the list, and we might have time for extras. So just stay tuned for that. So if you want to know you're going to get your reading, we'll make sure that you're on that list. We have a new astro weather tomorrow. I'm going to talk all about Venus going into Cancer and what that's going to mean for all of the 12 signs. I'm going to give you guys insight on that. Check out my Kazemi video too, because it's happening today and tomorrow. Otherwise, I will be back throughout the week, kind of sprinkling in some videos and doing some other things for you guys. And I can't believe it. It's like already halfway through the month. So that means that we're going to be doing, horoscopes pretty soon. Let's see. Oh, we got some people who slid in. Thank you. Mateo. Hey, Connie, if you want a reading, let me know. You can jump in there. Yeah, if you join memberships for level 3, you can have one reading once a month on my Saturdays. So you can choose to either do a 3-card reading for tarot once a month, or you can ask any question about your astrology once a month. It's a pretty good deal. Mateo, Taurus rising, Cancer sun, Scorpio moon in the 6th, midheaven in Pisces. I hope you're well. Trying to get a raise as a plumber. My boss said we'll discuss in 2 months. Wondering if I should wait, but I know there isn't anything to prove performance-wise. What did the cards say? Should I be demanding and speaking up? North Node, 3rd house, Leo. Thank you for that. Libra sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising. Cool. Check my horoscopes. I do horoscopes that are like 3 hours long every month, and the timestamps are there. So if you want to just listen to your rising and your sun sign, you can listen to that. But I usually do the next week, the next month at the end of this month. So let's see if Mateo's going to get a raise as a plumber, and what's going to go down there. Just thinking about the fact that, you know, you're a Taurus rising and your 2nd house is going to be Gemini. Keep in mind that later in the year, as we get into even like September, that's when Mars is going to go into shadow. Mars is going to go into shadow in your 2nd, which means it's going to be harder to actually get money coming in once you get to about the first week or 2 of September. Technically, Mars won't retrograde until about Halloween, but it's going to be harder to bring more resources in then. So let's take a look. But just knowing that you have 3rd house Leo, North Node, and you're going to start seeing all of these transits go through Leo. It could be a good time to be speaking up when we get like Mercury in Leo, maybe trying Jupiter. Timing wise, you could do it July 22nd, or you could do, I would say avoiding it when planets come into opposition with Saturn, because if you're pushing it at the end of July, you're not going to get anywhere. Or you could wait until Mercury comes into a trine with the North Node, and that's going to be about mid-August. Let's see what the cards say. Thanks, Connie. I'll get you in just a second. So we're going to wrap it up. That's last call for the night. So what did the cards say in terms of Mateo being able to get a raise? Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, Nine of Cups. Seems like you're gonna get what you want. Knight of Wands is talking about, like, I agree with you. There's not really much of a need to kind of show more in terms of performance. I'm kind of wondering, you're working for a company and you're having to like show up obviously and like do house calls and stuff, but there may be a sense of like you being busier than usual, or seeing more clients than usual, or really extending yourself a little bit more, running around more. That's what I see with Knight of Wands. This is about, you know, taking initiative and being like, I am going to show him that I'm worth it. Page of Wands is also saying, don't let this affect your performance now. Don't be like, well, screw this guy. He's not offering to give me a raise, so whatever. Don't do that. Because I could see with the downgrade going from the Knight to the Page that you're like, I'm not going to do any extra work if he's not going to pay me. Don't lose the momentum, right? Kind of keep your stride. You may be training someone. I know that sounds weird, but there may be somebody who's coming in that needs more assistance, or you're kind of showing somebody the ropes, or you're working with somebody who's like beneath you. There might be somebody who comes in to kind of assist you. There might be a sense of you stepping in and being like, I'll do the little jobs or this or that, or like little extras. I'm not saying to do it so you get the raise, but it will go noticed if you are willing to kind of do that. But to me, it seems like you're helping somebody, or you're showing somebody the ropes. That's going to be coming pretty soon. There's no need to like feel like you need to act out or anything like that. I would say definitely don't push the money thing, just knowing that you're getting ready to have squares between Aquarius, if you're a Taurus rising. So you've got Saturn at the top part of your chart, and it's going to square. So there is going to be some friction going on with bosses and superiors over the next month. But if you rise to the occasion and you're like, yes, I've got it, I'll do it, and you're being proactive and ahead of the curve, Nine of Cups seems to suggest that's the green light card. That's the wish card. So whatever you're asking for, it should be granted. And I do feel like it's about talking to them about room for growth in general. So you're not having to be like, can I get a raise? Can I get a raise? Can I get a raise? It's like getting a raise and then talking about some kind of an incentive so you can get more. So I don't know if this is you getting a percentage of sales. I don't know if this is going to be once you hit a certain quota, any percent over that, you're going to get a little bit more. Or if you're just like clocking more clients in general, there's a sense of like timing and how much work you're getting done and getting things done in a speedy manner, and getting more people in as you're having these calls, that it's actually going to play into your favor and you're likely going to get something. But I don't see you having to challenge it. I see your actions really justifying, you know, ultimately you getting this raise. So it does look positive. And whoever this person is that shows up that you're going to end up helping or kind of showing the ropes to, definitely do it. Because it's going to ultimately end up leading to one of the reasons why I think you're going to get a raise. Okay? Hopefully that's positive for you. What's up, Connie? I hope you're well. Connie says, will my Libra friend reach out to me? I'm a Taurus sun, Leo ascendant, Gemini Venus. That's a fun chart. All right, so Taurus sun, Leo rising. So your sun somewhere near the top of your chart. Let's take a look. So will your Libra friend reach out to you? All in good timing. Temperance is saying, What's the deal here? Is this a bit of like a cat and mouse game? Are you like trying to play it cool and you're like waiting to see if that person's gonna like actually like take the bait or if they're gonna take the initiative to reach out to you? Temperance card is the card that is associated with timing, waiting for the right thing to kind of come together. Maybe somebody is trying to play it cool or they're trying not to like quickly reach out to you and want to connect with you. Temperance is also saying like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So it could be that they're getting a more difficult read on whether or not you're actually interested in connecting. When the Temperance card comes up, that's usually a card that I see also where somebody's like, hey, do you have time? Do you have time for me? What's your schedule like? So when they do come around, they can be kind of trying to figure out what your availability is and trying to kind of come off cool in a way. It can also be an opportunity for them to be like, yeah, you know, I'm coming back and I'm reconnecting now that it's the right time. So I don't know if you've exchanged information recently or what the deal is, but he pulled away and I stopped talking to him. Yeah, he's going to come back around. Temperance is timing. And this can also be dealing with like Jupiter transits. So I'm wondering if there's going to be like aspects to Jupiter that can bring this person back around. This is also about healing and finding balance. So if you pulled away because you were feeling like, you know what, I'm doing all the work, I'm not really getting, you know, any headway from you, you're not really taking the initiative to connect with me, in some way that Temperance card makes me feel like it's just waiting for the right time to reconnect, and also a time where it's going to feel like it's more in balance, that it's not you pushing to see him and you trying to, you know, get something out of him. He'll come back on his own accord. And the Temperance card does talk about healing and needing to kind of work through something before he can be more so physically present in terms of being able to talk to you. But there's no like bad feelings here. This isn't like a dead end. This isn't a card that talks about that you're not going to see him or hear from him again. It's just saying that time is needed for him to be able to kind of work through something before you guys can meet on the same level, you know? Hopefully that's helpful. And I'm pretty sure we got everybody, so I'm gonna call it a night. So thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me on a Saturday. Don't forget to stay subscribed to my channel so that way you guys are getting videos and you know when things are coming out. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see all of you guys very soon. Take care.